But yeah, big new patch, some stuff should be fixed. Hopefully Will's imp will finally be able to actually attack things more than once. We'll see. We'll be able to test it in action soon enough. But for now, a quick recap over what we did last time is we are invading Moonrise Towers. We're finally doing it. Which is presumably, since I seem to have scoured most, if not the rest of the map, the final thing that we can do in Act 2. Before also, presumably, going into an Act 3. And we've taken over the ground floor. Potion of Angelic Reprieve, that's nice. We also learned we can just totally leave this place if we want to do a long rest, change up party, or anything like that, so that's nice. Although, I again, wouldn't have minded it if they were like, you can't take a long rest now, you must fell the Moonrise Towers in one sweep. It would mean that casters would have a more difficult time, that's for sure, but it is what it is. If ever there was a conflict in the planes of existence, a conflict that swelled up as if it filled with pus, bursting only to scarify and atrophy and never heal, only swell up and squirt itself out again, a never-ending pus carnival of pain and misery, the Blood War would be that conflict. It and rages still, truth be told, between the demons of the Abyss and the fiends of the Nine Hells. Cunning Yugoloths may play on one side against the other, but the conflict would swell and burst and swell again without much coaxing. It is in both sides' nature to fight. That'd be brutal even for a fighter party? I know. I'm aware. Like I said, I think we could definitely make it happen. It would just be hard. On weapon coatings, group of adventurers approached me, the Grins docile in earnest, and they needed my knowledge in alchemy to help them differentiate between weapon coatings. They claimed to be giant hunters. Taking pity on these well-meaning morons, I explained that the section of this page has been ruined beyond salvage. Annotated in the margin, someone has thoughtfully made the following note. Poisons poison the target and sometimes inflict an additional condition. Toxins deal damage over time. Oils, these inflict conditions and can harm creatures that are immune to poisons and toxins. When in doubt with alchemy, rule of threes, that felt good. I've really come to loathe that bastardly rhyme of mine. I'll leave it untouched in previous chapters, but from now on I'm having a bit of fun with it. 3 good twists is all it takes to grind a magpie into flakes. That's a new one. Arsonist oil, drow poison, potion of healing. What's this? Mucus.
Something slimy seems to be dripping from the rafters above.
I see. Look at all this food. Yummy. This stuff kind of looks similar to some of the stuff that was on the Mind Flayer ship, right? The Nautilus? Oh, look, more food. Food, 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 food. Fill my pack up with delicious food.
Lost in thought.
No, I never thought about it. Oh, you're an evocation wizard. Okay. I never double-checked what Gale's, wizard subclass was. I guess evocation makes sense, seeing as what we've seen from him. Steel Claw. What is this, a raccoon? Cat? No, it's a cat. Kitty! Guess we'll drink a potion of animal speak and go talk to the kitty. It is asleep.
These are the stalking grounds of Steel Claw, furless one. Tread lightly. Fortunately for you, the slithering vermin I hunt has my attention. For now.
The tower isn't very safe right now. Perhaps you should leave.
You may run with your tail between your legs, but I fear no man nor beast. Particularly cowards who hide behind magic. Bah!
Slithering vermin, they're called tadpoles.
Their name matters not, merely their demise. I braved lapping waters and leaking ships to find this prey. I butchered many, and will butcher many more. But this one I toy with. I slice, I tear, and when the time is right, I will bite its head off and bathe in its innards!
This cat's intense. You're a little bit intense, kitty.
You simply do not understand the hunt. True joy is the feel of screaming flesh beneath your fangs. Now I must return to my prey. It has been too long since it felt the bite of fear.
Dead Mind Flare tadpole. I wonder, can we revivify it? Yeah.
What's
Quick,
next, I wonder?
revive the Mind Flare tadpole.
I've got a long road ahead. These boots have seen everything.
And this just goes back here, which I've been to before. Cat hole.
I'm way too big.
I'm way too big, chat. I'm fucking huge, mate. Fucking huge. Fucking massive, mate. Oh wow, look at this fire elemental. Look at him go. He's killing it over there. I am really curious. Let's, scroll of gaseous form. To Gale. Gale. Can't reach the destination. Gale, make your summons move out of the way for a sec.
Shouldn't have wished to live in more interesting times. Looking ahead.
Oh, this just takes you to the docks. That's it. It's just a teleportation. That sucks. What a waste. See, the cat was talking about how it was hunting tadpoles and stuff. I thought maybe we'd find something in the cat hole, but the cat hole is just teleport.
What path lies before me?
I have way too much water. Here, Gale, hold some water. Oh, also, chat, that Club of Hill Giant strength that I had, that only increased your, strength to 15 got buffed so that it's at, 19 now, so it's not weak as piss.
Something slimy seems to be dripping from the rafters above.
It says from the rafters above, but it's from up higher than that. Alright, looks like it's time to climb the tower. I've checked all around the downstairs, and even cleared out the prison, which I surely did not need to, seeing as the prisoners are all gone. So, up we go. Orcs of the Trilta Hills. The recent dismemberment of Agent Moss, True Soul 26, by Lord Herod's guards at the Ringfork Stronghold is a clear indication that our strategy for co-opting the orcs of the Trilta Hills needs to be adjusted. Sending a herald to talk was regarded as evidence of weakness, so we must assume an attitude of dominance in our next attempt. The true soul among us who best understands orcish customs is undoubtedly Sir Yax of Scornabel. He shall be sent, backed up by a pair of ogres, to deliver a direct personal challenge to Lord Herod, using as an excuse the dismemberment of Moss. Yax is to defeat Herod and then force him to swear fealty to the Absolute. And in return, we shall back Herod in the conquest and alliance of the other two Trilta tribes. Inform Sir Yax as soon as he returns from the Werewoods. Disciples Rel on the behalf of General Ketherick. Invasion plans for Baldur's Gate. A map of Baldur's Gate depicting Upper City, Lower City, and Outer City as far as Worm's Crossing, as well as the Grey Harbor and near course of Chonthar. Recruiting gnolls. Though gnolls verge upon being brute beasts who cannot follow orders crouched in even the simplest terms, they can fulfill one important role in any army, such as the one we are building, that of Vanguard shock troops. Howling Gnoll berserkers can be sent ahead in frontal assaults to absorb defender spells and missile volleys, exhausting our enemy's ammunition before the arrival of an organized phalanxes of our less savage troops. Unless those spells are in the form of Eldritch Blast. Accordingly, Ragsland Hobgoblin Rangers are hereby detached from the wilderness to track down Gnoll war packs and capture each pack's Flind leader, and bring them back in good condition to Moonrise Towers for tadpoling. The Flinds can then be returned to their war packs, where they can count on the rank and file to follow the orders of their leaders, who will then be loyal to the Absolute. 6 such packs should meet our needs. See to it. Disciples Rel on the behalf of General Ketherick. What's this creature doing here? Oh, shut up already. My summons have been summoned by me. What do you think it's doing here? I wish they would have fixed that. Big Patch fixed several things, apparently. We'll have to see. But one thing it didn't fix was summons causing NPCs to go crazy. Daya. We have 1 Mistress of Souls and 3 Necromites. Oh, this is going to be easy. This is going to be quite easy, actually. Gonna have to just teleport somewhere a lot close by, or it's fine. Alright, this is Will's Imp. This one should have 2 attacks. Let's see. It didn't fix anything! Ree!
Stay at my feet.
Wait, did more people just join the fight? The Harper's from way down there? Jaheira as well? From way down there? Are you sure? Oh, she still has the warding bond on her, too.
You will die before you reach my lord. Then you will be obedient.
Go ahead. Fireball on 3. Not a big deal. Heck their eyes out, Crow. Oh. Or get a shield response, that's fine too. You have okay decks, but let's try Mud Belch. Easy kills. I feel like what might have happened and why the Imp isn't properly doing multiple attacks, if the patch did actually fix the issue, is specifically because this Imp was summoned before that. That's my best guess, at least. I mean low ground. Oh, I was targeting the Imp instead of her, right? Yeah. Ooh! Nice! A pow! Got them both. Misty Step. Go ahead. That fireball is gonna get counterspelled. No, thank you. Aww. Damn. Bitch's evasion is working well. Let's go invisible.
This is my time.
Another shield reaction. She's running out of spells, I think. Kind of depends on the class, I suppose, for how much she has left. Nice. We hit one at least. She's almost dead. Fucking move as far as you can, idiot. Thank you. You're just gonna commit suicide like that? Bruh. Counterspell. No. Quit it.
Let's finish this.
Wait, I didn't even get the bonus? The tenacity? Check her eyes out, mate. Oh, nice job. Well done, Raven. Guess we'll get rid of this incubation before it explodes. How's this compared to the OG ones? Also, hi, Mr. Kingdom Hearts boy. Oh, actually, the flame elemental should finish this. There we go. Anyway, I'd say that definitely the production value is a lot better. There's some things that are super different just because of the difference in D&D editions that are being used. Oh, there's plenty of horniness to see, don't you worry. But were I to say, in general, I would say that the comparison is this is smoother, is the biggest takeaway. Much, much, much smoother than previous Baldur's Gate games, and which it should be. I mean, this is how many years later? Like 20? There are some things I like less, just because D&D 5e has some things I just don't like as much as older versions of D&D. But in general, this is a very, very well-made game. It is a very good game. And the best part of it that has carried over from Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 is the writing is very nice. Characters are good, the overarching story is good, the writing feels nice in all respects. Now come we in reverence before the Absolute and her true souls, rejoicing in the three glories of belonging and reveling in the requital, for deeds duly done in the Absolute's name. Glory, the first is our purpose, filling us with determination to bring to all mortals the joy and reverence of the Absolute. Glory, the second, is our obedience, the bliss of knowing that we exalt ourselves when we surrender our wills to the Absolute's commands. Glory, the third, is our dominion, for obedience to the Absolute places us above other mortals, and it is righteous to command them. And when, through our obedience, we have achieved dominion, the Absolute grants us permission for requital, revelry without restraint to express our joy and pride in the Absolute service. Simp. Wait, ornate door? This looks like it might be Balthazar's place. Didn't want to go there yet. Didn't want to go there yet. Baldur's Gate 2 is 23 years old? Yep. I undershot it with the 20-year estimate. All right, big ornate door. We'll hold off on you for a little bit. I want to explore the rest of the tower first.
This is a restricted area. Time to explain yourself, or this guard will be restricting you to a cell.
Hey man, I belong here. Intimidation. I'm here for a routine inspection. I'm sure your superiors will be very interested to know that you tried to deny me entry. Oh, damn. Well, this might not work. Oh, yeah. Big numbers.
You've been granted free passage. What you do with that privilege is up to you.
Okay, why is there even talks of restricted areas and stuff when I am assaulting the tower? What's in here? A mimic! Oh boy. What are you doing here? Oh, we got surprised. That's not good. Burn. Oh, we burned the bed too. Oopsie. Don't try and hurt my skeletons. They'll hurt you instead. I'll say one thing they didn't seem to do, but this isn't different from the previous Baldur's Gate games, is they really didn't balance out the companions for choices between good versus evil. Most companions seem to be leaning towards good, if not outright good. Which is fine for this playthrough, because I'm doing a good playthrough right now, but when I do my evil playthrough next, it's going to make it a little more difficult to see who will or will not follow me. Stained letter. My darling daughter, when you were a little girl, I would often watch you play with your dolls and your cousins and picture myself an enormous, opaque, and silvery shield surrounding you, protecting you. I knew somehow, deep within myself, that no harm could ever befall you, because I would not let it. Though the healers say I may pass into the City of Judgment soon, know this, darling daughter. I am always around you. I am always with you. And the Moon Maiden will never allow you to bear a burden you cannot carry. I love you forever. A love that has no death, Mama. Mama's dead. So send those to camp. Pick those up. How do those shoes look? Ooh, fancier shoes. Very nice. Got some new kicks.
Light on my feet.
Well, let's go over companions I know for a fact absolutely will not join me on an evil playthrough. Karlach will not. She is definitely good. Will not. He is definitely good. Halsin will not. He is definitely good. Jaheira, if she is a companion, don't know yet, will not. She is definitely good. You can probably get Shadowheart. You can definitely get Astarion. Gale is more of the neutral side, so you might be able to convince Gale to stay with you on a good playthrough. Minthara, who we didn't get because we killed her, would definitely join us, because she's the evil playthrough one, obviously. And that's about it, huh? Unless there's some other possibly evil companion, like maybe Ketheric Thorm here or something. This diary records the life of John Medolin. He suffered from lycanthropy. Oh, wait, no. We've read this before. We've read it before. Oh, look, an evil throne on which to sit. Why is it made of stone? That's so uncomfortable. Gale, you got something to say to me, buddy?
Sharp as ever.
You're right up in my business here.
Let me work my magic. All right, what now?
My faith protects me.
Alright, let's open this chest. Nothing in it that I care about. Just a little money.
Swift as my feet can carry me.
Does this go anywhere? Nope, not really. Yeah, I'd say most of my complaints about this game is just general complaints I have about D&D 5e in the first place. I do not care for how many spells in the game are concentration spells. Do you need to play the previous Baldur's Gate games to better understand this one? No. This is a very standalone game. This game takes place like 100+ years after Baldur's Gate 2. Most of the text has been scoured away by time, but what remains appears to be some form of ritual incantation. Your white ribs, the pillars, your bleached skull, the dome. Take an apostle's final form, cathedral wrought of blessed bone.
Ketheric's been studying something called the Apostle, but of which god?
Suitable, or Swelto's Ethic of War. My colleague Amaps proposes fair rules of engagement in times of war and forgiveness upon victory. Are we to spare our enemies then once they have fallen to our might, or are we to pool our hatred behind us when surrender is offered? Indeed not, for what shall we do once our opponent gathers new armies, masses them once again along our borders? We shall wage another war and count the lives snuffed out by our own magnanimity. Once an enemy kingdom is conquered, it must be razed to the ground. Only then can we be free of its specter. That's a terrible idea. That's just throwing resources out the door. An unsent letter.
If you desire conversation, please do find someone else.
Balthazar, I thank you for returning what was mine and have no doubt all will be well once the war is won. After that, I believe our business will be concluded. A different life, a better life awaits General Ketheric Thorm. Get shit out of here. Invasion plans for Eltergard. Map of the area. Unsent letter over there. Potion of some sort. Okay, a potion of nothing. Invasion plans for the Sword Coast, for Baldur's Gate, just a bunch of invasion plans.
That might be worth a look.
Loose planks. Elder Brain Domination, hello. What's the difference between this version of D&D and the old one that OG Baldur's Gate used? Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 ran on D&D 2nd edition. Which means that there's some more, I guess you could call them hardcore rules from back in the time, where stuff like poison was very efficient and powerful, whereas nowadays it's garbage. And there's a lot of different ways that classes worked. Nowadays, in D&D 5th edition, while there's more class subclasses and stuff like that you can do, more builds you can do, there's also a lot of different rules and different balance changes they made, some of which I am really annoyed with. One sec before I read this. I'll show you one right now. This is a concentration spell, Shield of Faith. This is a concentration spell, Hold Person. This is a concentration spell, Spirit Guardians. This is a concentration spell, Resistance. This... which one? Which is the next one? This is a concentration spell, Guidance. This is a concentration spell, Bless. And this is a concentration spell, Beacon of Hope. This is a concentration spell, Planar Binding. And what that means by concentration spells is that you can only have one of them going at any given time. You cannot have more than one concentration spell on a character at any time. In order to cast a different concentration spell, they have to give up whatever one they're currently doing. On top of that, anytime you're hit, you must make a Constitution saving throw in order to not drop your concentration and have the spell fail from that point on. Almost every buff and debuff in the entire game is a concentration spell, and that means that they are all competing with each other over whether or not you even put them in your spell book or attempt to use them at all. Which means a ton of spells for your casters will just not get used ever. Because not only, especially for ones like Hold Person, because not only is this a concentration spell, it also has a saving because it's a debuff. Even if your spell DC is pretty high, if they just save against it, well, unfortunate for you. So you have to already make that roll, then you have to constantly make concentration rolls to keep it going. Which means that buffs are generally what you're going to do. Yes, it's also a save every turn for Hold Person. Well, that part is fine. It's the addition of concentration that really fucks it, right? So that means that anything that's a buff is almost universally going to be better than a debuff, with the exception of a couple debuffs that are just really, really good. Unless you get your spell DC really high to, like, guarantee it. Which you can probably work towards really hard. There's probably some gear that helps out with it pretty decently. But that's one thing I really don't like about D&D 5th edition is just how many concentration spells. This is just our cleric.
Defender of the people.
All 4 of my characters here are spellcasters.
Seek and you shall find me.
And here's the thing, Baldur's Gate 3 even buffed a couple things that D&D 5th edition has, such as summoning spells that you see us have several of, are concentration spells in original 5th edition, which means you can only ever have 1 summon going at any given time. Which means I wouldn't be able to have the extra dudes coming out. I'd only be able to pick 1 of these on Gale here. Which means you only get 1 elemental, or 1 minor elemental, or 1, well, 1 use of, I guess. If it summons more than 1, then you would have more than 1 that way. So we've got... Those would also be concentration spells if it wasn't slightly different from 5th edition. So yeah, 5th edition itself is just kind of the biggest issue I have with this game. And that's especially coming off of playing what was essentially 3.5 edition when we were playing Pathfinder 2 Wrath of the Righteous. Pathfinder's a modified 3.5 edition of D&D. And there's no concentration spells. Everything feels stronger on your characters. Everything feels stronger on the enemies, so it just feels like you're living a much higher high fantasy where everything's much bigger, stronger, and superhuman, which feels a lot cooler in my opinion, personally. And on top of that, one big thing that 5e does not have is good feats. Feats are really weak in 5e compared to previous editions of D&D. So what they did is really just kind of tone everything down over the years. And while there's more build variety just through the sake of them adding subclasses to every class, it doesn't change the fact that the build variety is overall worse than 3.5 edition because of things like feats and lots of them existing, mounting options that don't exist in this game, a lot more variety in how you build the specific class rather than adding subclasses. So yeah, that's my main complaint about the game, and that's not the worst thing in the world. There's still plenty of build variety in there, and getting past just the concentration stuff is perfectly fine as long as you try and build your characters not to have too many concentration spells, and then pick the right ones for the right job. 5e addresses quadratic mages, linear marshals in the worst way by nerfing the reach of spellcasters and buffing the reach of marshals, and they miss meeting in the middle. I don't think they really did it that well. People complain all the time about D&D 5th edition and spellcasters being way better than marshals. One of the things they did was make it worse, even, because the feats themselves are so bad, which were one of the biggest strengths of building marshals in the older editions of D&D, like 3.5, for example, which Pathfinder works off of for the most part and has a few differences, is you could build a really, really, really banging marshal by taking the right feats, setting them together, you know, getting Sentinel and shit like that, and you could create a monster of a martial character. But that's kind of been thrown to the wayside here because martial characters are very, very straightforward in how you can build them now. Aside from a couple multi-classing things, it's pretty fucking super duper straightforward. Which edition, which version of D&D did Temple of Elemental Evil use? I don't know off the top of my head. I'd assume probably first edition if that's the really old one that I'm thinking about. Here, let me Google. Let's see, D&D, the Temple of Elemental Evil. Written by Gary Gygax, yeah. First edition AD&D. Yep. First edition of AD&D, Advanced D&D. So, really old one. And if you're talking about some game version, then I wouldn't know off the top of my head. Alright, it's enough talking about that. We're going to get back into the game. Confidential, dictated to Scribe Yenthus by General Ketheric. Young Gortash's plan to enslave an Illithid Elderbrain and make it our marionette under control of the crown of Karsus has proceeded almost without flaw. Barring the slight delay while our Baalist allies sort out their leadership conflict. The weak point must surely be the sharing of the Netherstones. It was necessary to secure my engagement of that of the murder cult. But eventually, it's certain to fracture our fragile alliance. Clearly, all three Netherstones must be controlled by a single leader. Me, by preference. But not until after all the stakeholders have made their essential contribution. Gortash fears that, energized by the dark energies of the Crown, the brain we now call the Absolute will eventually metamorphose into something new and more difficult to control. If he is right, the need to invest the power of the Netherstones into a single wielder is urgent. Even more so, in that Enver Gortash, at least, must be thinking the same way. Okay, so they're marionetting a fucking Elderbrain. That's very impressive, honestly. For those that don't know, an Elderbrain is a pretty high-tier monster in D&D. Chest. Oh, we might have enough. We have just enough. Perfect. Inside the chest, letter to Ketheric, and Cloak of Elemental Absorption. Absorb elemental damage once per short rest. Take half damage from the next elemental attack targeting you and deal an additional 1d6 of that element type on your next attack. Not bad at all. Here you go, Gale. You have a new cloak. Letter to Ketheric.
My darling husband, I know my time is drawing near. I don't want to leave you. I don't want to leave our little girl. But I'm not writing to lament our lot. It's ours and no others. Though the city of judgment is dark, I know Our Lady's light will find me even there. I will see her shining spires and walk the silver gardens we have both dreamt of. I go to my reward, and leave quite a task to you. To you yet, my heart. Selûne's light shines bright in our little one, but she will need a guide to keep on the path. I have no doubt that she will keep you on yours. It is the same path, Our Lady's path, and one day I know it will bring you both back to me. Only not too soon, I hope. I won't say goodbye. There is no loss, only temporary separation. How I love you forever, Melodia.
A letter from Ketheric's wife. Sounds like she loved him very much.
Yeah, Ketheric seems to have gotten a bit of a raw deal from life. It was one thing for his wife to die, then his kid died. And then he went evil. Happy Baldur's Gate 3 got so popular. It was a very highly anticipated game for a long time. Had a very successful early access appearance that everyone spoke very highly of. And came out to function very well, look very good, have tons of content. It's all single player, no online necessary. You can go online and play with friends multiplayer if you want to. There's no DRM in it. It's everything AAA game companies in the West hate. A super successful single player game, story focused RPG without tons of microtransactions. It's beautiful. General, given what we know from my research about the Gith artifact, I can't emphasize enough how critical it is that it be recovered. The power that artifact contains can boost our own efforts to unforeseen levels, but if it falls into the hands of enemies of wit and persistence, it could bring down all of our plans and schemes. The body of our hand-picked captain for the artifact raid wasn't found in the wreckage of the Nautiloid, and I'm not at all easy in my mind about that fact. Find the artifact. Employ rigorous means. Do not fail. Lord Gortash.
Don't waste a step.
Wicker chest. An absolutist outfit. No, I'm gonna continue my, I'm gonna continue wearing my 80s hair metal band outfit. Although I'll put that in my chest at camp. Lever. This just seems to go outside. I could climb down here and jump across there and go and nowhere and do nothing. Climb those roots, I guess. Which would take me nowhere to do nothing. Well, this is covered in viscera, blood, and dead bodies. This must be... what's his name's room? Balthazar, right? Yeah, Balthazar. A heart. Uh-oh. Perception fails.
What the next move is.
Stop me yet.
Damn, I failed too.
A long way to go still.
Will, can you get a good roll on perception? Nope. Okay, well, no perception for us.
How much farther can I go?
Attention, Acolytes. A reminder, Acolytes are permitted entry to my chambers for the sole purpose of collecting moon lanterns. My library is not to be tampered with. While the Absolute appreciates your eagerness to learn, my bookshelves do not. Any requests to borrow from them must be given to me in advance and are like to be refused. Should you desire information on poisons, do not think to read any tome on the subject here. They are inclined to grant more knowledge than the written word can provide. Remember, the Absolute's purpose is better served by a beating heart than a poisoned mind. Though, if you choose death, I will ensure you serve her still. Engraved Githyanki disc. Viscera. A lot of human hearts in here.
This Gith slate looks like the other. Another story about the Githyanki prince?
Oh, good, good. We'll need to read that later. I'll keep that on my person just because. Clasped book. This is a log on the work of one of Balthazar's necromancer, Cressa Bone Daughter, dated 210 days ago. After the state the Fallen One was in, I never expected Cressa would be able to save it. I was hoping the usurped thing would die. That's what it would have wanted. It's not as if Cressa studying it is going to prove much. It was damaged in the attack far beyond what a mere tadpole could do, but she seems fond of the foul creature. Let her play with it. Another entry seems to be written in this log dated 10 days later. I should not have, in hindsight, let Cressa keep her pet. Ever since it was shipped onto one of the Nautiloids to be deployed, she has been inconsolable. It won't survive out there. It needs me. It isn't like the others. The feral thing will make a fine warrior for the Absolute, and now my best assistant is distracted thinking about it. Pah! She will come to heal again soon enough. Purple fluorite shard. Another moon lantern. Is this a working moon lantern? Not a broken one? Heavy chest. Alright, let's unlock it. Get out of the way! Which studios said that? Said what? Oh, that we shouldn't consider this the gold standard? Western AAA studios like EA and Activision and shit, 100%. When you poison a foe, heal yourself for 1d4 hit points. Well, that's garbage. Let's just put that in camp. Goblins. The Maglubiot Gambit. Goblin troops, though crude and a bit dim, are valuable because they're adaptable, and can be fitted into a number of different military roles, excelling as archery skirmishers and warg cavalry scouts. If rigorously drilled, some can function as disciplined phalanx armies and half-pikes, and even the ones who can't be trained to march in step can serve as prime catapult fodder. The key to recruiting the tribe of goblins is to their profound respect for their priests, who lead the tribe members in the worship of all-conquering Maglubiot. Therefore, let the high priests of the 7 tribes of the southwest Sword Coast be invited to a grand council, a feast where they will be well-fed, well-flattered, and well-lubricated with jugs of plonk laced with a mild paralytic. The priests will awaken with new guests in their crania, and be led into docile devotion to a new and greater god than Maglubiot, the Absolute. And trust me, where the priests go, their warriors will follow. Let's see. Wooden desk? Nothing. That's a, intelligence devourer. Telescope.
I spy my little eye. Nothing of note, really.
Balthazar, personal notes, 2. Note, install a drain beneath library's conventional medicine shelf. It's wasteful to let all that blood seep through the flagstones, and it will rust the spikes besides. A line slashed through the above, the same hand in fresh ink below. Disregard. The smell gives me sweet dreams. Protruding books. Oh! Oh! It zombified these guys. But they are blind, so I don't see much reason to be spooked of them. Bonk.
Battle favors the fearless.
Jaheira, what are you doing down there, honestly?
Is that blood? No, never mind.
So that's what those protruding books do. Shadowheart, why are you on fire? Balthazar's personal notes 3. Request from the next caravan. Any works by Mordenkainen must catch up on current events. No Volo. Better a century of ignorance. Hidden Vellum holds ink like no other. Could harvest from an acolyte. New copy of Swift and Sudden Death for Library. Current volume badly scorched. Lever. This lever also heads out here, yes? Yes. Recipe of Drow Poison. Combine essence of Swarming Toadstool with any salts, and lo, you'll have yourself a dose of Drow Poison as dark as the goddess Loth's temper. Time was I would grimace at the prospect of poison. Not that I think it's cowardly, I just didn't think that was my legacy. The scaleless dragonborn who wrote some books that jilted scum used to poison their heartbreakers. My old friend Nikros tried to convince me that such poison would better equip adventurers for danger on the road. What a crude, happy-go-fuck reality attitude. Adventurers make up a sliver of the Sword Coast populace. Mostly it's folk trying to get by, and in this day and age, that means poisoning your ex-lover, or some man who stole your prized goat, or some woman who called you a crabby little bitch behind your back. Well, I say go ahead then. Use my work however you want. Shooting book. Oh. That's a slight issue.
Should mind my step.
Setting traps, he is.
A hero at heart. One move ahead.
Ah, shoot. I poked it. Oh, hey. Looks like the poison is done. Never mind, we're good. Back in we go. Oh, come on.
One with the weave.
Back in we go. Back in we go.
On I go.
Can't give up now. Very well.
Charred prayer book. Didn't see that before. My dark goddess, when I lost my daughter, I learned my purpose. My dark goddess, when I learned my purpose, I gathered the flock. My dark goddess, when the flock was full, I punished the wicked. My dark goddess, when the wicked struggled, I struck them down. My dark goddess, I am yours. Oh, Shar worshippers, you're all a little insane. But that's why we love you, isn't it? I think that's everything in here. How about in here? This should be his library, right? A little gift. Marcus, I assume no explanation is needed for just how rare these appendages are, and I trust you shall make good use of them. You have a golden opportunity to please the General. Do not squander it. Access to the unwilling donor has proven difficult since the harvesting, but I am afforded the opportunity. If I am afforded the opportunity, I shall pass along your gratitude. B. Beheading the Bitterroots. The Grimforge region is an important choke point, as it controls access to Moonrise Towers via the Underdark, but Grimforge is occupied by the Dwegar Bitterroot clan. Though not numerous, these Dwegar are a band of tough combatants and could prove inconvenient obstacles should we need to move military assets quickly through the region. These Dwegar must be neutralized. Accordingly, let a team of Orin's crack doppelganger assassins be assigned to the task of killing King Guerdon, the monarch of the Bitterroot clan. After the assassination, the team is to gather Guerdon's head, and especially his crown, before ensuring that both are hurled into the fathomless depths. The Bitterroots, unable to crown a new king, will fracture into quarreling subclans, the leaders of which can one by one be tadpoled. So that's how they did that. Smart. Anything out here? Some dead people in a chest that probably doesn't have much in it, but I'll check it. It does not have much in it. Oh, great. Good jump choice. Good jump choice, game. Augment Solver. Gives you, what, laceration? Poison mist, oh. Very meh. Send to camp. Fooge. There's no way that person has anything on them, right? Oh, not really. Just some stuff to sell. Hello, Disaster Lord. How are you? Missive from Ketherick. Gortash, the tone of your recent letter is inappropriate. You may follow the Lord of Tyranny, but I do not answer to him nor to you. It isn't the fault of any of the Chosen that the artifact has gone astray. Unforeseen events occurred, as they always do. I acknowledge your planning, mastery, and brilliance of mind, but you lack the depth of experience that brings patience and composure. The artifact will be found. Our enemies will be thwarted. We will prevail. Now, show us that you are reliable as well as brilliant. General Ketherick Thorm. No word from Balthazar. Balthazar has sent neither word nor notice. Wherever he's gone is a mystery. Need someone to investigate his chambers, but no doubt he's rigged the thing to high hells. Perhaps hobgoblins. When in doubt, send the hobgoblins. Seen it. Whoa!
Ya hello Thor W, hi, how's the Baldur Gate going?
Hey, thank you Andro for the dono. It's scaring the crap out of me. Baldering the Gate goes well. How are you? Hope you're doing well too. We're just about to go fight a big boss soon. First, I'm raiding his tower. Stealing his stuff. Okay, it would seem I have checked everything I can check in this area. With the exception of this. Oh, it's the it's a hidden room behind fucking Balthazar's wall, which I couldn't figure out because I got a bad perception check. Maybe we can try another perception check. Let's find out. Okay, it would have to be something to do with the protruding books, yeah? So I think I tried the top one first. Wait. Let's see, we got this one, and we got this one. And we got this one. This one caused poison gas. The top one, I think, revived some stuff. Let's try the second one. Oh, fuck. So is it left, right, then top? Oh, there's another protruding book I didn't see before.
No use. Blocked. Won't budge.
Won't budge.
Won't budge. Splat.
No use. It's blocked.
Well, guess that's just not gonna be a thing I can do. Unfortunate. I don't know what's behind there. I bet it's something cool. Click. Insert item. Oh, I bet this needs a human heart, right? Wait, hold on. I've got one, actually. Oh, there we go.
Another step forward.
There we go.
The necromancer was experimenting on the tadpoles.
Lockpick.
But they were already imbued with Netherese magic. So where did that magic come from?
Opulent chest. Cold brim hat. Once per turn, any condition inflicted on a target also applies to turns of encrusted with frost. Any condition inflicted on a target. Any. I can see that working for Gale here. Research notes, what do we got? I have redirected some materials from beneath the tower. I plan to simply raise what forces I need inside the mausoleum itself, but the general prefers that no more of his family crypts be disturbed. Even so, I may have no choice. The temple will not surrender the Night Song easily, and the general's invulnerability depends on it. I am sure he will forgive a little transgression if it frees the army to move on Baldur's Gate at last. Goblet with dead broken moon lanterns and dead pixies in a ritual circle? What the heck?
Can't afford to stay idle.
All's well that ends. Not as bad as it could have.
What were you doing here? Ritual circle.
Carved into the bench's rotted surface are strange, half-faded sigils. A magic circle of some kind, thick with darkness and decay.
A ritual circle. And a complex one at that. I've seen such a construction before in the writings of the Weave Pasha Raven, though his vision was not so tainted.
What's its purpose?
The sigils are written in a curious mix of tongues. Ancient Kalashite, Netherese, something else I can't quite make out. If I'm reading it correctly, it was used in the creation of moon lanterns. It's been mostly drained, but even now contains a powerful dose of shadow weave. The discarded pixie corpses might still contain enough essence. With one of the broken lantern casements... Yes, I think I'll be able to craft one more lantern. And with a slight modification of the casting gesture, it might be able to wield the shadows instead of repelling them.
Ooh.
Though, Mistress' eyes may be upon me. She'd forbid me dabbling with such magic. She'd want it destroyed. Wasted, arguably.
And rightly so. The last thing we need is someone of your potential becoming enthralled with Shah's magic, Gale.
I'm curious, personally. I say go for it, Gale. Craft the lantern. Alright, gonna need to grab the ingredients first. Of a dead pixie and broken moon lantern.
The circle's power remains, to be used or destroyed.
Pick up the ingredients, craft the shadow lantern. Oh, god damn it.
The circle's power remains.
One broken moon lantern, one dead pixie, combine them, and a shadow lantern. Conjure shadow lantern wraith. Oh. Pull an undead creature from the depths of the shadow lantern's depraved magic to join your side in combat with a long rest cooldown. Cool. I'm guessing we can't make any more. Yep, looks like that was a one-time thing.
Interesting.
See, is that shadow lantern a two-handed? It's versatile. You don't say. You don't say. Oh, I was carrying a dead pixie and a broken moon lantern anyway. Now I know what they're for. Splat. Well, that's cool. Encased in a cocoon of shadow within the lantern, the mangled pixie lies like some deformed pupa, its mouth slack, and those same shadows crawling over its graying tongue. Here, Gale. Let's let you wield some shadow magic for a little bit. In fact, let's create a Conjure Shadow Lantern Wraith. Let's see it. It's a level 5 shadow. It has Strength Drain on it. Oh shit, that's like one of the only things in the entire game that can drain a stat. Goblet of Dead Tadpoles. Use.
A goblet filled with the mutilated corpses of elithid parasites. Whatever ungodly experiments were performed on them likely killed them.
You know, I wonder if I could have done something with said Goblet of Dead Tadpoles. Oh, true, I can equip that in the torch slot, eh? No. No, I cannot. I just tried to. Also, that got rid of my Wraith by unequipping it. Oopsie. Oh well. Not the biggest deal.
Best be on my way.
Alright. Off to the ornate door to go up. Where's the ornate door at? There it is. Casually bringing a whole army? Oh, this isn't a whole army. When I do my evil playthrough, everyone's gonna have summons like Gale has. That'll be an army.